Well, we are live right now. This is Megan with Quick Conversations with Megan, and we have Miss Elizabeth Sabet here. Now, Elizabeth has a massive title, but in my world, she is my spiritual leader and my life coach. Elizabeth, real quick, can you give us like your official title? Because I don't want to mess it up.
Sure. I'm a transformational, transpersonal coach, and I specialize in spiritual integration.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
something we all need.
Yeah.
Really, really.
Yeah.
But so tonight we're going to focus on soul contracts. And for the friends in my world who, sorry, I feel like there's a delay. Are you guys getting a delay? Let me come this way. So the friends in my world who are familiar with things I say, like that's just not in my contract, or this is what I'm getting this lifetime because it's what I agreed to. So, Elizabeth, give us the quick rundown on what a soul contract is.
A soul contract, contracts, plural, are agreements that we make with souls before we come into this planet, into this body, in this lifetime. And there are several different kinds of contracts that we make. And we make them for our growth and development and for the growth and the development of others. So we have our parental contracts, the people that we agree and we choose as parents. And then we have our allies that we contract with. Those are our friends, the people that are there to give you a push when you need a push, tell you the truth, to love you, and to be that safe space to be yourself. An ally, someone that's going to help you complete your mission, so to speak. And then you've got your challenging contracts. So those that say, hey, I'm going to show up for you and I'm going to be that bee that does this so that you get your power, girl, right?
Yeah.
And then we have contracts that are accidental and that we just happen to be walking down the street or on the subway, in my case, and just randomly on the subway in New York City and run into somebody that I had a contract with that gave me some information that was really instrumental in helping me come to a spiritual understanding. And then we have our teachers, and they could be an author of a book that we read. So our teachers, our mentors, our guides that are in body. So those are the types of contracts that we have.
Okay, so essentially it's like saying Megan is coming into this lifetime in this skin and she has this mission and these people are in place to support that mission.
That's right.
Okay.
There's a really good experiencer that gives some talks on YouTube. His name is Christopher Sanderson. If you're interested in contracts, I would listen to his conversation about life between lives and how he chose and why he chose his father.
Because I was going to say, it kind of leads into some of us are dealt a bad hand. And so saying that we chose that
It's
can
very
be very
hard.
upsetting, right?
It's
It
very,
sounds like we're victim blaming, essentially.
that's right. And so, with the first time that I heard this, I was very angry, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! That's BS. I don't believe it." But the more that I began surrendering my ego and paying attention to what even that is, and to see how is it possible that I made the choices that I made that ended up being so harmful. What could possibly, I mean, just as an adult, how could I possibly make that choice? Why did I not listen to my friends? What was I thinking? Right? Well, I was thinking that was going to be a good thing. And as it ended up, that was a challenging contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned a lot. I grew. I learned. It was a very painful experience. And I knowingly entered into that relationship, even with caution,
Yeah.
people questioning me. So it was a very good experience, even though it was very painful. So this is what I don't ever tell anybody, oh, you chose that, because I don't know that that's always true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be very careful about making things truths that are not helpful.
Yeah.
It might be your truth, but you don't need to project that onto them.
And being aware too of maybe an abuser gaslighting you, saying, well, this was intended.
Oh, yes.
Like I'll just call it out. My dad, when we finally met when I was 35 years old, he said, well, this is the way the universe wanted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. No.
Okay, sure.
So
That makes you feel good. We go there.
yeah, you can believe that. However, there's something that does break these contracts, and that is abuse.
So if we make a contract and we come into this life and it is not okay, things are not okay, then we can break the contract with it when there's abuse or things like that present. That's what you're saying.
If there is abuse, then the contract's null and void. So there, let's say you've got a challenging contract that's here in your life right now. And you're like, can I please like break this? Can I let this go? Here's the question. Have you learned, what have you learned from this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What is your part? What were the decisions that you made as an adult to be in this relationship? And or be in this place or take that job or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so you have to be very careful about breaking contracts. If there's abuse, it's already null and voided. Like, if that was a challenging contract, then get out of it. Don't stay in a relationship, whatever type of relationship it is. If it's abusive, forget that. We don't have to sacrifice ourselves.
Right? Spirit's not setting us up to come into this planet to be miserable and tortured. Even
No,
if we have a hard lesson
no.
to learn, it doesn't have to be through an abusive
Spirit
manner.
doesn't, God does not make these contracts, we make them. And that's hard for people in some particular faith to believe, but we make our choices. We choose.
Mm-hmm.
And the more educated we become on why we make the choices that we make, how it's possible that we're making these choices, we have less need for the contrast that those challenging contracts um, bring into our life.
Bring. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we said the contract before we're even in this body. Can we change the contract as opposed to end it? Can we say, hey, you know what? I feel like I've already learned what I came to learn, but I'm not ready to leave. Can I learn more? How does that work?
Yes, yes. And here's something that's going to blow people's minds, and they may not like it, but I'm just going to say it out loud, is that let's say that you have learned everything and done everything that you came here to do. Your life is a contract, and it ends when the story's done.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to learn more, if you really have done everything, you may be able to have more time. And you can say, yes, I want more experience. I want more time here. But you have to bring in new aspects of your soul to grow. And it's, I mean, if you've had a challenging life, you know what it's like. So you're going to bring in even more underdeveloped aspects of your soul to work on. So that's what you're going to do if you want more time, is you're growing your soul. That's why you're here to begin with.
And so the hope is to grow our soul to have a Christ consciousness, right? To be unconditional love. Is that why would we have a contract to start? Why would our spirit even do that?
Well, as some experiencers, Christopher Sanderson has the best explanation I've ever heard. And you really, if you want to listen to an experiencer talk about this from their perspective, watch him. But he was in a heavenly place before he came to earth for the first time, and this magnificent being crossed his path that was full of love and light and just totally magnificent. And he asked this man, how did you get to be like you are? I want to be like you. And this being said to him, oh, I went to earth. And he said, I want to do that. I want to go to earth. And the person said, yeah, they all say that.
Mm, yeah, we want it until we don't want it.
We want it until we're like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So, did that answer your question?
Yes, definitely. And
Okay,
definitely,
okay, okay.
10 minutes is not enough time to get into the complexities of this and what it means to maybe be a Christian and believe in what
Yeah.
it sounds like is multiple lives. We all come to our own understanding of spirit or God or universe in our own way. So I just wanted to share this quick synopsis of a soul contract. I do feel like you and I were contracted because you helped me through one of my darkest hours, but definitely a
Mhm.
very, very dark one.
It's
So
my honor.
I am so happy to get to share space and time with you. And we are at 10 minutes. So, everyone, thank you for watching. Elizabeth, thank you for your time and expertise.
Thank
And
you.
we'll be back next week, y'all.
Bye.